Okay, welcome back, folks. This is video 4, and let's take a look at the pricing. So this is the kid, by the way, and we're going to get to this shortly. He just graduated, undergrad degree, and he's charging professional level rates. He's charging $1,500 a month. And his professional, he's charging close to, what, $8,000 a year? What? Are you fucking kidding? This in itself qualifies him as a fucking scam artist. He's never worked in a professional capacity in trading, in asset management. As you're going to see, he worked briefly at some little small investment bank as a little junior boy, a little coffee boy. And let me just go ahead and mention, so he worked as an investment banking analyst. What that means basically is you're doing the grunt work, okay? You're doing the grunt work. You're getting the coffee for these guys. You're doing fucking nothing, basically. Okay, you're doing the grunt work. You're doing the busy work. You're not doing anything, okay? I can guarantee you that. So he doesn't have any real experience. Let's take a look now. So he's charging these rates. Okay, let's see what he does. Let's take a look at his LinkedIn here. Okay, so you can see investment banking associate. This just means, folks, I'm telling you, he's just done nothing. At Moelis and Company. This is like a little tiny shop. I mean, I'm familiar with the name. I don't really know them at all. I think I've seen it somewhere. It's a very, basically insignificant little shop. And so let's take a look at his, so he's got a BA in business. BA in business is completely fucking useless. And even an MBA you don't really know what the hell is going on. I think you need an MBA to really kind of make your undergrad degree fairly relevant, to be honest with you. Because an undergrad in business is completely useless. You don't know anything. You'd learn nothing. So he worked there for 1.5 years. Okay, 1.5 years, and obviously didn't go well. I'm sure he was laid off. Before that, he worked for 11 months at Mizuho, some Japanese firm. Okay, so think about this for a second. He graduated in 2020. January 2020. Okay, he didn't get a job until 7 months later, which, okay, COVID, whatever. But prior to that, he was president of the Michigan Investment Club for a year. Vice president for a year. Analyst of the Michigan Investment Club. Okay, so you were an analyst of the Michigan Investment Club before you even went to school there. Okay, whatever. Okay, great. Summer analyst, intern. Okay, so he was a summer analyst there at Mizuho, so I guess that's why they let him. They hired him for nearly a year later, but it didn't last. I mean, why do you think he didn't last long? He was let go, I'm sure, right? So he didn't really have a future in investment banking or whatever, so what does he do? Now, apparently he claims he started his little letter before this. So he goes back to his letter. Okay, so we have a kind of a timeline now. He graduated in 2020. He's a fucking child. He's a kid. Doesn't know shit. Okay? Let's take a look here. And so he's got this little article write-up, I guess with some alumni thing. Look at this face. Wow. Here we go. I started at 12 and I made a lemonade. I started my own lemonade stand. I bought a stock at 12 years old, and from there. Okay, great. So this is just scary that he's trying to associate himself. He's trying to go and recruit suckers at this University of Michigan Investment Club, by the way. Somebody needs to contact people at the University of Michigan Investment Club and tell them that Adam Kobeissi is scamming people, and you're going to see that here shortly. So let's go back to this is interesting. You can see, I forgot this, biochemistry. So he tried to double major in biochemistry. So I guess this is another one of these business guys who wanted to get into medical school, and he just couldn't make the grades because he doesn't have a degree in biochemistry. You can see up here, I don't believe, there's no degree in biochemistry. And I've mentioned this on many occasions. The people who are in business school are people who couldn't really do well. Most of them couldn't pass general chemistry, and they went across the street, signed up as a business major, and they make straight A's. This is what I've seen. This is my own experience. So this is another case. It's just kind of interesting to note that. And so you can see here, yeah, it doesn't have a degree in biochemistry, but anyway. So this started in 2019. He started his letter in 2019, okay, just before he's graduating, okay. So here's a sample from his website, and so you can see he's just basically showing you just basic technical analysis, support and resistance, and probably some, it looks like some indicators down there, probably RSI or MACD or some useless shit like that. And then he just talks, it's a bunch of nonsense here. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for specific trades, and this is just a bunch of fluff. Okay, where's the trading guidance? I don't see it. It looks kind of generic to me. So there's no. It's just kind of a generic trade setup. There's no specifics, right? It's interesting. So let's take a look now, because he shows you. On his website, he's got performance. Let's take a look. You can download this. Performance report 2020. Kobeissi letter. Okay, great. So here you have it. The official breakdown. So you can see all these trading positions. Now, it's kind of bizarre because he doesn't show specific trades in his investment, right? Where's the trades, right? That's kind of bizarre. So this is basically trading. It's a trading. It's not investing. It's trading. Okay. So he goes through. I guess it's equities, commodities, and Forex. Okay, so for 2020, he wants to show you the S&P got 16.26. He got 44.83%. This is bullshit, complete bullshit. I'm going to explain why here in a minute. Just go through and show you his other performance. 2021, same nonsense, right? So let me just show you. Let me just mention, if you're going to post these returns, we need to see the exact orders, time stamped. When did you issue these orders, right? In fact, if you're making these trades, aren't you? Are you not? Show us your brokerage statements. And by the way, folks, don't be fooled, because there's some people out there, and I'll get to these people in the future, by the way, some of them online on YouTube who are saying, oh yeah, it's verified, here's the brokerage statement. Folks, anybody can doctor a brokerage statement, okay? They need to show their brokerage statement plus their IRS tax return, okay? Now, IRS tax return can also be doctored. There's other ways to verify this stuff. I'm not going to get into that here. I'm going to save the kind of the special insight I have for when it's needed for some of these scammers who think that they're going to prove to me that their trading record is legit. At the very first, as a start, I want to see every single transaction from your brokerage statement, and then I want to see your IRS tax statement. the full tax statement. Okay? Want to see it. Want to see it. And then you're going to have it verified, right? We're going to go to a third party. It's going to be verified through the IRS. You understand? If you don't do that, don't trust them. Now, so let's just go through all this nonsense, this trading bullshit. Oh, look. Total return, 35%. Wow. If he's so good at these, why isn't he running a hedge fund? Right? These are, as far as I can tell, they are not substantiated trades. Okay? Going on Twitter and announcing to buy something is not, that's not a, no, sorry. That doesn't work that way. We'll get to that here shortly. Just want to go ahead and show you the final 2022. I guess it's 2023 is coming out here in a couple of weeks or so. His net return, wow, 86%. Wow. Yeah, okay. So let me explain something, folks. If I calculated returns now, if I calculated returns myself in this manner, I could claim to have annual returns in my commodities precious metals forecaster of probably 1,000% or higher. Each of my publications, I could probably, if I calculated returns in this manner. What do I mean by that? What I mean is the following. It's not only inappropriate, it's illegal. You can't, this is fraud. You cannot do this. He's calculating a return based upon each position, assuming that you are betting, you're gambling all of the money that you're investing in each trade. So in other words, January 1st, let's say you have $100,000. It's all the investment money that you have. Okay? And you're going to go with this service because he's up 35% one year, 85% last year, right? So you're going to put $100,000 into this first trade. According to this, and once again, I want to see the evidence of this trade. I believe this is completely fucking bogus. And Mr. Kobeissi, if you want to prove me otherwise, my name is Mike Stathis. You can contact me, avaresearch.com. Send an email. Show me otherwise. I will apologize. But I'm quite sure that you don't have the justification. I'm quite sure you're a fucking scam artist. Okay? Now, even if these trades were completely legitimate and can be proven, which I claim that's not the case. Think about it. So you're down $1,000 from 100,000. You've lost 1%, right? Okay. Next trade, you're down, let's say, a couple of $1,000, 1.59 for 99. Let's call it 2,000. So let's just call it, just for simplicity, $97,000. Okay. You understand the point, folks. Each of these trades, you have to invest the same amount every time. The same amount. Who does that? Nobody does that. No. So you say, well, what's the big deal? Folks, the big deal is when you are trading, it's like blackjack. When you go to the blackjack table, because trading is similar to blackjack, by the way. Okay? Similar to blackjack, but probably you have better odds with blackjack. But you make sure and you have enough money for several hands. Why? Because if you invest everything, if you gamble everything, bet everything on the one hand in blackjack, you could lose it all. And that's it. So you make sure and have enough money for at least 50 hands. But I say probably 100. Okay? Nonetheless, you got to have, my point is, you're investing just a little bit amount of your total capital. You understand what I'm saying, folks? So if that's the case, if you calculate the total return, the cumulative return for the year, you don't add up the percentage. This guy's so fucking stupid, right? He's adding up the percentage. You can't do that. That's fraud. That in itself, it doesn't even matter if these trades are legitimate. And I believe they're not legitimate. Prove to me, Mr. Kobeissi, these trades are legitimate. Remember, I'm a big swinging dick. I'm a real pro here. You're going to have to prove to me. You're going to have to cross some high hurdles. I'm not going to fall for bullshit. Okay? So you all understand, folks. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off. We're going to continue with this in video 5.
In terms of getting back as an investor, if it's coming down to here, almost irrespective of what's going on, I have to believe. If I have to make a call in advance, and of course I can change depending on what happens, but I have to believe this is where you want to start doing that 18, 17, around there. earnings report is a complete game changer, at least for quite a while. Bottom line, NVIDIA now is going to enter the realm of Tesla, Apple, and all these other big, I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works. I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works.